Hey friends, thanks for joining us for another market update here in Bend, Oregon. We are bringing you our December market update from the Tall Line neighborhood, one of the more premier, newer West Bend neighborhoods here in Bend. And we are standing inside of a absolutely beautiful home by MCD Homes, which is a new builder partnership that we have here in the Tall Line neighborhood. And we're going to be putting multiple MCD homes on the market over the next couple of days. For more information about these homes, feel free to reach out to us directly or just keep an eye on our social media because we are going to be sharing you a lot of information about what MCD does, how they got started, and what types of incredible products they offer here in both the Tall Line neighborhood as well as in Discovery West. Now, as we turn our head towards the market, I want to talk to buyers that are out there right now. I know that 2024 has been a very challenging year to be a buyer in the Central Oregon market. We've seen our prices hanging out at just below all-time highs, and we've seen rates at some of the highest levels that we've seen in over a decade, which has really created some challenges for affordability. What I want to talk to the buyers about out there is that both those higher prices and that rate actually create some opportunity. If we think back to what buyers were going through in the euphoric markets of 2021 and 2022, when rates were incredibly low, those buyers were having to usually bid upwards of 10 to 20% over list price to get their offer accepted. They were having to waive their right to a home inspection. They were having to give up their right to an appraisal and pay over appraised values. Basically, in order to get a home, they had to hand over everything that the seller wanted just to get in contract on a home. And that presents its own set of challenges that I don't think we really recognize enough. When I think of how that compares to the market right now, we are sitting at prices roughly down 10% from those all-time highs that we saw earlier this summer, which means that buyers can actually get a little bit of a bargain right now compared to where we have been over the last 2 years. You also have time to choose from a massive amount of inventory. We have more inventory on the market right now than we've seen in close to a decade, which means that you can take the time to find the right home for you. And once you find that home, you will be able to negotiate on price and make sure that it is a good fit for you before you make that long-term commitment to get yourself into a home that you're going to be holding for, 7 to 10 years or longer. And yes, affordability is still a bit of a challenge, but I do think that if you get yourself into a home now, you will be able to take advantage of lower rates when they do come around. It may not be tomorrow, it may not be in 6 months, but when those rates do drop, you will be able to take advantage of that. And as we saw during that crazy euphoric hype in 2021 and 2022, when rates do come down, that's when you lose a lot of leverage in negotiation as being a buyer. So I think right now is an excellent time for buyers to get out there and shop. I know it's difficult with rates where they're at and with pricing is where it's at, but I do think you're going to have yourself in a better overall position buying now compared to trying to buy when the market is absolutely crazy. Now, what do I think about what's going in the market right now for sellers? And what would I be thinking if I am someone who is looking to sell my house in 2025? Our favorite time of year to list a property is going to be towards the beginning of February, maybe through that entire month. And the reason for that is this is when we see inventories at their lowest levels compared to sales demand in terms of what's out there, which means that you're going to have less competition on the market when you put your home on the market, which means you're going to be able to stand out and you're really going to be able to gather the attention of the buyers that are out there shopping. The other thing I like about this time period is not only are inventories fairly low compared to demand that's coming in, but a lot of what is sitting on the market during that time happens to be older, stale inventory that a lot of active buyers have already seen. And so when you pull that out of the picture, you're talking about a very select number of homes that are new and exciting on the market during that early season window. If you wait just another 2 or 3 months after that, you're going to see that competition explode, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult to let your home stand out. So, what would I be thinking if I was someone who was thinking about selling in 2025? I would be looking at how do I get my home ready now? If you want to list your home at the beginning of February, you really have about 7 to 8 weeks to do so, which means right now is the perfect time to be meeting with realtors, putting together your marketing plan as to how you're going to make your home stand apart and taking all of the necessary efforts to make sure that your home is prepped and ready to go onto the market. Now, if you want any additional data about your specific situation, maybe it's a specific neighborhood you're interested in about learning about, or maybe you just want to know what's the best way to prepare your home, feel free to leave your questions in the comments on this video, and we will get back to you and get you on the right path, whether you're looking to make your first home purchase or whether you're preparing to sell your home into the future.